Hey guys, it's Alexandria X, and I used to make content on Instagram, but now I've switched over to YouTube. And the type of content I like to make are vlogs, talking videos, TV show commentary, and movie commentary. If you're new here, subscribe down below, and if you're not new here, welcome back to this channel. And in today's video, I have a special one up my sleeve. I've actually thought about this idea concept for a really long time, and this video is what if How to Rock and Victorious had a crossover episodes. Since the shows have very similar, they're quite similar, well not they are, but they aren't. It had just been nice, since they're both singing shows and have songs and soundtracks in the shows, it really would have been nice to just see these shows collide together in its time when they were popular and on the air of Nickelodeon. So I made that for you guys to fulfill some moments in your childhood. Now mind you, I had to write this writing as if it was 2012 because that's when the shows were on air and things like that. It was 2012, so please don't mind some of this writing. It's obviously outdated writing, but just for the sake of the childhood, that's the only reason why I wrote it like this. Well, everything else is tamed except for one part, and I do apologize in the voiceover of the video anyway. Please don't cancel me for this. I'm literally trying to do it how they would have done it in our childhoods. So please don't do that to me. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and on to the episode. Okay, so the title of this episode is How to Rock with Victorious. Get it? Because it's a How to Rock and Victorious. So anyways, the main plot of this episode is a music competition between schools. Two schools. The kids had to audition for this, and then they'll go on TV to battle it out. Whoever wins gets to go on a statewide tour with Teo. Or Tayo. You know, the guy who made Dynamite. You know, we gon' rock this club like it's dynamite. I'm not going to put like real music because I'm afraid of copyright. So we're not going to do that. So the episode starts at Brewster High. They see this video, and Casey is telling Gravity 5 about this competition, and they should join it. Molly goes over to Casey and teases her and saying that there is no possible way that Gravity 5 will make it. This puts Casey in a drive, and she starts to force the group into writing a new song so they can audition and be on television. Now cutting to Hollywood Arts, Andre is seeing this online as well at lunch. He tries to find Tori in the building to tell her about this and how he wants to write a new song so him, Tori, Kat, and Jade can be on TV. But Tori is in the hallway studying for her permit so she can obviously eventually get a license. She's doing this with Beck, and Tori wants Andre to actually interact with Robbie for this since they never paired musically before. Then it cuts to theme song, and it's kind of going to be a mixture of both the show's theme songs. So it's going to be Only You Can Be You, Only I Can Be Me, Here I Am once again. I really would put the real music, but you're going to have to bear with my terrible voice because, you know, copyright. So anyways, theme song ends. And then there's two subplots in this episode. There's the main plot, which is what I mentioned in the very beginning of this video, and then what I'm about to mention now. So subplot number 1 is Tori learning how to drive, which trickles into the main plot, and then subplot number 2 is Molly plotting against Casey to make it to San Francisco, which also trickles itself into the main plot. Both of these subplots makes itself into the main plot, and the place is in San Francisco. I should have mentioned that since both of the schools are in California, because I know Hollywood Arts is obviously in Los Angeles. I don't know what part of How to Rock is placed in, but I do know it is based in California. Back to Brewster High School, Gravity 5 is in their room coming up with lyrics and a melody. Kevin and Nelson says that they haven't been working on a melody. They play it and everyone likes it. They also state that they made lyrics, everyone hears it, and then they're singing it, but it's about Kim Davis, which is Kevin's love interest, and Grace, which is Molly's sidekick, Nelson's love interest. Stevie throws a pillow at them and tells them that they're stupid. Xander is trying to build more on the melody. Then Molly comes in and announces that there is a local store that is going out of business in 4 days, which is when they're supposed to send in the audition. Molly mainly does this to get under Casey's skin, so it will distract her from finishing the new song with the group, and she can go plan to shop at that local store. Back at Hollywood Arts, Andre's in the rec room with Kat, Jade, and they're waiting on Robbie. Kat talks about how her brother once bathed in chicken fat. Guys, I know this is weird, but they have to trickle a little bit of dance somewhere. Please don't cancel me. I'm just trying to do this for the sake of the weirdness. Anyway, please don't cancel me. Anyways, Jade tells Kat that everything she says is pointless. Then Robbie comes in the room, running in there because he is learning how to not be late. But Andre tells him that he's 5 minutes late, and Robbie drags himself across to the other three. Andre says that he has lyrics, but he doesn't have a melody, and he needs one. And everyone is trying to help him come up with the melody. He also wants to rehearse with them as well. Robbie begins to suggest that a guitar and drums is really only needed in the song. Jade points out that Andre usually always has a keyboard or piano in it. And how will it be a song by Andre Harris without either of those instruments? Tori and Beck come running in the room, and everyone is looking at them crazy. Everyone is concerned. Tori says that they are trying to hide from Trina because Tori scratched her car while practicing with Beck, and Trina's car is like one of her most prized possessions. While they are trying to hide from her, Tori is invested in the song that they are writing. Jade gets up and leaves the room. Tori then talks to Andre about how he should just take Robbie's word and not use his usual instruments. Robbie pulls out his acoustic guitar, Andre pulls out the bass, and as this is happening, Jade comes in the room and yells, "Trina, in here!" Trina comes running in, screaming at the top of her lungs. Trina snatches Robbie's guitar. Trina snatches Robbie's guitar and chases Tori out with it out of the room. Beck asks Jade, why did she do that? And Jade says, I love their sister fights. Cutting back to Brewster High, it's the day before the auditions. Stevie goes back into the room and tells everyone except for Casey, because Casey isn't there, that she has been looking for Casey all day and she's been calling her and everything. Everyone says their murmurs and Casey runs in the room. Xander asks Casey where she's been, and Casey replies with revenge, because Casey found out that Molly was lying and she was in the perf bathroom tearing it up. Grace then walks in the room and goes to Casey and tells her that Molly is going to get her payback. She forced me to say that. Grace walks out and Casey shakes it off, rehearses the song, and she asks them, did they ever get lyrics? And Xander says only the pre-chorus. Casey begins to flip out on them for not writing lyrics. Then Stevie puts her in her place by saying that she never puts in any effort in the group, and all she ever wants to do is look pretty and sing, and that is not fair that everyone in the group has to pull her dead weight. Casey tells Stevie that isn't true, and she looks for the guy's approval. Xander says that what Stevie said is true, and it would be nice if Casey wrote something for once. Casey apologizes and starts to write lyrics for the song. Cutting back to Hollywood Arts, the kids are at lunch, and they are talking about how they want to record for the audition. Kat mentions that they should do it at Tori's house because Tori doesn't care. Jade agrees and Robbie, but Andre feels a little bit uneasy about this and suggests that they film it in the Black Box Theater. Everyone agrees with it, and Beck goes and sits down, and Robbie asks about Tori. He explains that Trina is holding Tori at home because she's still upset about her car. The only reason Beck knows this is because Tori made a status update about it. Everyone looks confused, and he asks, has anyone looked at Tori's status updates? Kat says that she updates every 20 minutes. It's hard to keep up, so she just stopped looking at Tori's Slap page unless they're on her Slap videos. Everyone is in agreement with Kat. Trina runs up to Beck at the table and says, if anyone asks about Tori, just say she's sick. Then it's just a montage of both of the groups filming their audition scenes for the competition. Both of the kids are at lunch at the tables waiting to hear the announcements for the two winners, and of course the winners of the competitions were Brewster High School and Hollywood Arts High School. And the competition is this Saturday on the website, and they have each group of the kids. For Gravity 5, they're looking at the victorious kids, so Andre, Kat, Jade, and Robbie. And Stevie points out that Jade reminds her of herself, but Nelson says that she thinks that Jade is most likely meaner than her. Then for the victorious kids, Andre points out how cute Casey is and how he needs to get in contact with her. So it's the day of the competition and it's in San Francisco. And it starts at 3 p.m. Gravity 5 gets on a bus at 6 a.m. because it's a 6-hour bus ride. On this bus ride, Molly and Grace is also in disguise so they can go to San Francisco with them. Back in LA, the victorious kids are also up at 6 a.m. because they're taking Beck's RV. So the other kids can just rest up for the performance in his RV. But Beck also brings Tori with him so he can have somebody to talk to. And Trina somehow ends up in the back of Beck's truck because she heard that the competition was going to be on national television. So she thought it was a good idea to just tag along as well. So for the Gravity 5 kids, as they're on the bus, out of the 6 hours on the bus actually breaks down. And this put a panic to all the groups. And basically, they pick up their belongings and they hitchhike to the competition. Molly and Grace are still on the bus and Molly is trying to come up with a plan. But Grace reminds Molly that Molly literally has a cousin that only lives 30 minutes out from where they're at. So Molly calls her cousin and the cousin comes pick them up. Gravity 5, however, is walking to the place where it's going to be broadcasted at. So a 1-hour bus ride turned into a 3-hour walking distance. But as they're walking, a limo pulls over and it's actually Tayo or Teo, whatever his name is. He asked the kids where they were going and he told them to get in the car because he heard the entire situation and what happened with the kids. So with the victorious kids, Beck begins to not feel so good and he pulls over and throws up. He tells Tori that he's going to have to take the wheel and Jade hops out the RV and asks what happened. And she notices Tori in the driver's seat and tells Tori, Vega, you're seriously not going to do this. Tori says, just go back in the RV, Jade. Jade says, well, I can't believe I'm going to die like this, and tells everyone that Tori is driving and that they need to prepare themselves. As Beck is about to get back in the truck, he hears a sneeze and sees Trina. Tori gets out to see what the problem was, and she sees Trina herself. And she says, Trina, but just rolls her eyes, gets back in the truck, and begins to drive, even though she doesn't even have a permit yet. And they get down the road. Gravity 5 gets to the competition hall, and they're going to the backstage to go into their dressing room. Casey goes to her dressing room, and she notices a lotion that is made just specifically for her. She puts it on, then about 10 minutes later, the victorious kid shows up, and everyone is running into their dressing room, and it's 2:45 because the show starts at 3 p.m. Xander hears Casey scream and knocks on the door. Casey opens it, and the lotion actually turned her skin green. Molly comes from behind Xander and says, ooh, did you not want to look like the Grinch on national TV? Casey says, Molly. And Molly walks off and she bumps into Jade. Jade asks Molly what is she holding in her hand, and Molly basically explains that it's a lotion that turns your skin green. Jade asks, can she have it? And Jade takes it from her. Well, Molly passes it off. She goes up to Tori and says, Vega, put this on, it makes your skin soft. Tori takes it, but looks at Jade's hands and notices it's a trap. So she eventually actually just ends up giving it to Trina for payback for locking her in the bathroom a couple days before. Trina puts it on and walks off. The host of the show asks all the kids to come out together and meet each other. Andre asks for Casey Simon, saying, where's the lead singer? Casey Simon. And Molly says, oh, she's having technical difficulties. Casey stomps out and says, Molly, you don't know how much I can't stand you right now. Stop trying to steal my spotlight. Andre leans over to Robbie and says, I have lost my attraction. Molly and Casey are going back and forth, and Grace comes from the back and tells Molly to just leave Casey alone. Molly walks off, and then the host explains the show. They get on each side of the stage, and then it's darkened. The host is hosting, and then the spotlights are put on the teams. I got to mention something to the kids that was actually really crucial to the competition. He tells the kids that the backup singers and the instrument players aren't needed because the main singers, which is Casey Simon and Andre Harris, are gonna sing acoustic. No instruments, no backup, no nothing. This shocks everyone. So Casey goes first, but she freaks out and doesn't sing the new song that they wrote. Rather, she sings a song that they've already sung before, which is Move with the Crowd. It goes like, you better move, move, move with the crowd. And then she sings and goes off stage. Then Andre gets nervous and he doesn't sing the new song that was written. He actually sings Song to You. I give you my song, these words to you. Sorry for the terrible singing. I'm so sorry. Teo then is about to announce the winner. But at the same time, Casey and Andre says, wait. Casey says that she needs to sing with her friends, and Andre agrees. So everyone from each cast sings from their own theme songs, mashed. They all sing acoustic, so they're like mashing, kind of how they did in I Party with Victorious. But anyways, they all sing acoustic, and Teo says that the winner was Andre Harris, but that wasn't the objective of the competition, so no one wins. Casey and Andre at the same time says, that's stupid. They quickly look at each other, and Teo walks off stage, and the host closes off. Then all the cast members hug one another. Alright guys, so I really do hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know I did, because I had tons of fun just making a fan theory about a crossover episode between Victorious and How to Rock. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Especially subscribe. And I hope that you have a good day. Bye.